Earlier this week, President Trump's Office of Management and Budget ordered a funding freeze on federal grants and loans. The White House then rescinded that memo Wednesday.
While the pause in funding was only temporary, state agencies in Georgia were impacted. Some families and care providers say they are now feeling the pressure with a payment not coming in on time this week. Maggie Fitzgerald's in studio tonight to explain more.
Frank and Lori, the State Department of Early Care and Learning sent out this letter to daycare providers across the state this week, many of whom rely on the child care and parent services payments to stay afloat. The letter issued Wednesday by Commissioner Amy Jacobs notified all CAPS providers that payments will be delayed, and as soon as they can access funds, payments will then resume.
100% was on CAPS. Like, I have all my parents on CAPS.
A temporary freeze on federal funding early this week has trickled down to families and providers, leaving a lasting impact.
I didn't receive my food check, which is for my income for next month, just to put food in the house and everything, just to feed the kids.
Josette Hicks independently owns and operates Sweetie Pie Daycare in Macon. She says she's faced challenges with receiving timely payments since moving her business in October. So she knows more than anyone how many providers are feeling this week after not receiving that payment from DeKalb.
It's been very hard and rough trying to make ends meet, pay bills, pay my assistant, and just take care of what need to be taken care of.
The CAPS program provides financial assistance to low-income families with child care costs. Most families pay a fee, with the program sending a remaining balance directly to the daycare in reimbursements.
Their uncertainty, having a hard time trying to figure out if we're going to get paid, if we're going to have a job.
Little Night Owl Daycare in Dublin receives 95% of their funding through CAPS. Teacher and nutritionist Angel Owen says the delay has resulted in families pulling 7 kids out of their program.
They're having to scramble to find other stuff because they can't afford it anymore.
While Owen says their staff has received notice of payments starting back up, they are hopeful DeKalb understands the impact of a sudden change.
Everything under control, from to CAPS to families that it's impacting, because it's not just impacting us, it's impacting the parents that can't work or just make a living with their kids.
Now, Reg Griffin with the Department of Early Care and Learning told us today that child and adult care food program payments were made out yesterday. Griffin confirmed with us that CAPS payments have officially resumed and were made out today. He says it will, however, take the normal processing time for each provider's banks to process the funds to then appear in their accounts. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Maggie. Griffin says DeKalb resumed the payment process as soon as federal funds were made available this week.